everyone. How are you? So today I want to talk about resisting reality and how to practice acceptance. Have you read the book by Byron Katie, Loving What Is? In her book, she talks about how people suffer because they constantly argue with reality and don't accept what is, which keeps us stuck. Resisting or arguing with reality is the act of denying the truth of a situation, rejecting what's happening, and wanting things to be different. When we resist reality, we battle against the present moment, which can manifest into unproductive thoughts and behaviors. It can blind us to solutions and growth opportunities, which affect our ability to find inner peace. Resisting reality may show up as avoiding difficult conversations, holding on to expectations, or blaming external circumstances for our challenges instead of taking responsibility for our responses. The more we resist, the more we suffer. When faced with challenges, it's natural to resist reality because sometimes we cling to what we wish were true, hoping to change an outcome. This often stems from fear of the unknown or the desire for things to stay the same. People often express their resistance by using the words should or shouldn't. These words indicate expectations or judgments about how things ought to be rather than accepting things as they are. When you use should statements, you're imposing your own beliefs onto a situation, like, I should have gotten that promotion, they should treat me better, or she should dress better. These statements imply how things should have turned out and lead to disappointment. On the other hand, shouldn't statements express a denial of what's happening, like this shouldn't be happening to me, they shouldn't have said that, or I shouldn't feel this way. Shouldn't statements reject the reality of the present moment and can lead to resistance. Using should or shouldn't makes it challenging to accept what is, and you may become fixated on how you believe things ought to be, which leads to suffering and stress. Byron Katie uses should examples like people should be kinder, children should be well behaved, my neighbors should take better care of their lawn, the line at the grocery store should move faster, my husband or wife should agree with me, I should be thinner or prettier or more successful. In addition to should and shouldn't statements, people use coping or defense mechanisms to avoid facing reality. Here are 8 examples. Number 1, downplaying the seriousness of an issue. Number 2, creating excuses for the behavior. Number 3, blaming others or external factors. Number 4, avoiding discussions. Number 5, focusing only on positive aspects of a situation while disregarding negative aspects. Number 6, distract from the problem or numb emotional pain. Number 7, manipulating facts to make someone doubt their own perceptions. Number 8, holding on to false hope or wishful thinking that the situation would improve. Resisting reality can lead to negative emotions. This subject got me thinking about a gorgeous hike I took near Mount Rainier over 25 years ago. I was with friends and surrounded by the most beautiful scenery. And as we traversed up the mountain, I was having trouble breathing and also keeping up with my friends. And I exercised daily and led a very healthy lifestyle like I do now, so I was kind of confused. After that day, I noticed the shortness of breath continued after I got home. So I set up an appointment with my allergist who diagnosed me with asthma and prescribed a daily inhaler, which I refused to use because I was denying that I even had a problem. After experiencing some terrifying walks on some local trails near home, I again experienced shortness of breath. So after that incident, I finally gave in and began using my inhaler regularly. And within weeks, I felt so much better and was happy that I finally accepted the reality that I indeed had asthma and my life became less scary. If you feel like you might be arguing with reality, here are 5 helpful questions to ask yourself. Number 1, do you frequently say should or shouldn't about a situation or a person and resist how things are naturally unfolding? Number 2, do you avoid discussions or situations that you're unwilling to face head on? Number 3, are you holding on to unrealistic expectations or wishing things were different? Number 4, do you make excuses or rationalize to justify why you're not accepting certain aspects of reality? Number 5, are you trying to control or change people or situations instead of accepting them as they are? If you answered yes to any of the questions, you may be resisting reality. Practicing acceptance, like in my asthma scenario, brings peace, and it's so important to let go of what you can't control. Accepting reality doesn't mean giving up. It just empowers you to navigate life's challenges with an open mindset. To move toward acceptance, it's important to become aware of the language you use and replace should or shouldn't with maybe, it would be nice if, you can fill in the blank. It's also important to let go of coping or defense mechanisms that stop you from confronting reality. By being aware of your resistance, you'll be able to accept what is. Acceptance means acknowledging reality without trying to change it. Certain situations are beyond your control, and you'll suffer a lot less by practicing acceptance. Our perceptions of reality are influenced by what we see, hear, and experience, and it's natural for us to form beliefs and make judgments. Practicing acceptance means coming to terms with the reality of a situation, and this doesn't mean that you agree with everything you encounter. It's about acknowledging the reality of a situation as you perceive it, even if it's different from others' perspectives. So if you've been listening to me for a while, you know I speak a lot about boundaries, and I'll give you a few examples of how you can practice acceptance and create boundaries around what is. Let's say, for example, you have a family member who frequently insults you every time you visit them. To make it easy on yourself, you could just acknowledge their behavior and accept that the behavior probably won't change. To cope with it, you could find the humor in it by guessing the number of insults that will be directed at you before you arrive, kind of make a game of it. And of course, you can set boundaries to limit your time together. Another example might be that whenever you go to family gatherings, there's always a drama-filled drunk relative. Instead of feeling stressed, you can accept the reality of what is and set a boundary by keeping your distance and conversing with other loved ones. If it still bothers you, it's probably best to limit your exposure and leave when you need to. Another example is maybe you have a friend who wears perfume, and even though you've expressed many times that perfume gives you migraines, they ignore you and continue to show up with perfume on. Once you come to terms with the fact that perfume is part of your friend's package, consider setting boundaries for your well-being by opting for meeting outdoors and replacing hugs with fist bumps to avoid carrying their fragrance long after your encounter. Acceptance doesn't mean tolerating or condoning undesirable behavior. It means acknowledging the reality of the situation and understanding that some things are beyond your control. Acceptance helps you come to terms with what is, and setting boundaries empowers you to respond in a way that preserves your mental health, which allows you to navigate challenging circumstances more effectively. By practicing acceptance, you'll make more informed decisions while navigating through life's challenges in a way that aligns with your values. Acceptance is not giving up. It's just accepting a situation and its reality without denying or avoiding it. It lets us confront challenges head on and make informed decisions, and doesn't mean we stop striving for improvement. It allows us to see the situation clearly, understand its limitations, and work toward positive outcomes. By embracing acceptance, we gain the strength to adapt to circumstances and find new possibilities for growth. I'm going to share 6 options to help you move forward. Develop a plan to find creative solutions to address the issue so you can approach the problem with a clearer mindset. You can also identify steps you can take to make necessary changes in your life. Recognize that some things are beyond your control and there may be no solution. This could provide a sense of closure, allowing you to move on. Reflect on what you've experienced and identify lessons learned for use in the future. Find emotional support from encouraging people who understand your feelings. Stop beating yourself up and feeling guilty. Treat yourself with kindness, just as you would with a friend facing a similar situation. Remember, the way you respond to acceptance depends on the situation, and it's okay to take your time. Acceptance allows you to take control of your responses and empowers you to make decisions that align with personal growth. And as George Orwell says, happiness can only exist in acceptance. If you'd like to read more about accepting reality and see more should and shouldn't examples, visit focusyourtime.com/reality. That's it for today. I hope you have a good one, and I will see you next time. Bye.